Hey guys, welcome back to part 2. I've made some progress on mounting everything on the mill, and I've started taking the overarm off, and I've taken these covers off here and taken the drawbar out. This drawbar was in a pretty good shape, I think. It's just the piece that's been sticking out that's really rusty. But this is actually the best of my drawbars. The other ones are just rusty everywhere. So that's it's gonna need a little clean up here, but I think that's gonna work. Looks reasonably straight as well. So what I noticed when I took these covers off was that I'm hoping you can see that the belts down here are really worn, and they need to be replaced. Maybe you can see it there, that it's looking good, and right there it's way down in that groove. So I don't think that would hold up much longer. And I've also figured out what this was. Remember I asked you that in the previous video. And that's a tensioner for these belts. So I'm thinking I'm probably gonna, as you can see, there's a couple of belts down there as well. And I'm thinking that I will probably swap out all the belts. These actually look pretty good. So I may keep these, but we'll see what I can get a hold of. But I think there's 3 there, and there's 1 for the feed, and I think those will be replaced immediately. So looking at the overarm, I'm taking that off. It needs to be cleaned up really good in the dovetail, and it's really stuck on there. So what I had to do was get one of these and just push and hit it with my rubber hammer to just kind of inch it millimeter by millimeter, and it's taken about 1 hour to get it into this position. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move the mill just a little bit backwards so I can use my hook in the ceiling here to lift this, and then I'll just put that one to the side for now, and I'll clean that up later and just concentrate on getting the table off and the other covers and everything, just to have a look inside. And I also have some cleaning up to do here. Now this, I actually like that because this is not very hard to clean up. So you can just take a brush and it comes off pretty easily. It's not at all like the dirt and grime that's on my lathe. I have no idea what that is, because it's practically impossible to get off there. But this one's pretty easy, so it's a fun cleanup project. Then we're gonna take these off. These are the fasteners for the overarm. And they seem in a reasonable condition. It's just covered with dirt and very little oil, but they seem to be in a pretty good condition. So it's just gonna take some cleanup, and then I think they'll be good to go again. So the overarm is down. Don't want to bore you with all the details. I'm just gonna put this side to the side for now, and I'll come back to that later and clean it up. So now that the table's off, the overarm I mean, I'm just gonna get this out of the way here. And the next step is to remove the table. So I'm going to try and figure out how that works, and I'll take you back a little later when I've made some progress. So I've gotten the table off, and I've set it down on some pieces of wood, and on first inspection I think the surfaces are looking really good. Actually not a whole lot of they feel really smooth, and from what I can see there's no rust on them, so that's a good sign. And I actually think that so far the machine has been in a better condition than what I was expecting. Since it's been standing in a barn and was covered with rust everywhere, I was kind of expecting that to have gone down to the dovetails and everything, but so far these surfaces has been looking really good, and I just hope that it keeps looking as good. So I'm going to disconnect the table and I'm going to lift it off. It's not super heavy, I'm guessing about 50 kilograms. So next step will probably be to just lower the knee, and I'm actually gonna take off all the things in here, the X screw and everything. There's a lot of chips and dried grease in here, so it's gonna take some cleanup to get it clean, but I'm feeling pretty positive right now, actually, since the machine seems to be in a better condition than I was expecting. So here's an overview of the first night's work. I got the table off right here. It's going to be inspected. I have started to try and get the y-axis to unlock so I can take this off as well. I haven't found the right way yet. When I turn this, it still goes to the end position and I can't seem to get it off, so I'm gonna have to look at that tomorrow or maybe the day after that. The overarm is off, and a whole lot of fittings and stuff like that. We have the X screw, we have the fast feed mechanism. So all in all, I think it's a pretty good day's work, and I'll continue tomorrow. So it's Thursday now, and I started taking apart the machine yesterday. So this is where I'm at. I've taken the table off and I'm working on getting the saddle off, and I think I have made a breakthrough right now, because I just couldn't figure out on how I was supposed to take the saddle off. So I was almost thinking about just ignoring it and kind of clean it up on where it is, but I wanted to take it off because there's a lot of dirt and grime in there, and the waste needs to be cleared up. So I started looking real thoroughly on it. It's just like it was this impossible jigsaw puzzle, because the machine, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a this part goes in here, so I can't just slide the saddle off this way. So I just couldn't figure out how I was supposed to do this, and so I started looking at it, and I saw this line here. So I kind of saw that, well, it's supposed to be taken off. So, and it's the same on this side here, I think. There's probably a line right there. So I couldn't find any bolts to take it off, and I was looking down here, for instance, and then I just noticed these, which were really dirty and a lot of grime in there, and so I started cleaning them up, and I think I have found the right bolts for this. I'll just take one off. So unmounting this, you can see that it actually goes down, and it's one of the fastening bolts for this here. So when I've taken this off and I have taken that off, I will hopefully be able to just slide the saddle right out of the way, and I'm hoping that's gonna be it. So I'm gonna try that, and I'll take you back a little later. So as you can see, this is loose. It's moving, but I just couldn't get it quite off, and I'd found 3 bolts, and you really have to look carefully, because under all this dirt and grime here, there was another bolt. So we're just gonna try and get that off, and hopefully we have the saddle free. We'll just leave that there for now. I actually think that might be it. So I'm just going to put some straps around that, and we'll lift it. I have the chain block I've borrowed. So it's going to be a little easier today to lift it, I hope. Okay, so the saddle is off. Now we just gotta set it down. Just gonna lean it there and get some pieces of wood to put it on. Next step will be to get the knee off. And I believe I can just loosen these pillars here, and then just take these bolts here on both sides, and it'll probably be loose, not counting the electrical wires. So I think I will just support it with the crane, and I'll start taking the bolts out. So we're getting there. I have the columns loose, and I strapped the table to the chain block, and I've loosened these bolts back here. So what I think I need to do now is to just remove these bolts, and hopefully the knee is going to just lift out. Okay, so that plate back here is loose on this side. And we'll do the same thing here. So the camera battery died on me yesterday just as I was finishing up, and so I had to head out here today and just give you a quick wrap up of this episode. What happened yesterday was that I finally got the knee off. It took a little work, but it went okay, I think. I'll just put it to the side for now, and I'm gonna concentrate on the base. And what I've done today is I just cleaned up this side here. I need to do some more cleaning on the back side, or on the left side, and then this area here. Good thing is that this is pretty easy to clean up actually. It's not that hard dirt and grime that is on my lathe. So I'm pretty happy about that actually. I was expecting a lot of more work when I first saw it on just the cleaning. So that's kind of a nice thing too. So what I'll do then is to go over to the contact surfaces and clean them up, scrape all the dirt and debris off there, dirt and grime, and then we'll head over to the knee and give that a good clean up. I'm not sure if I'm going to take that apart or if I just maybe give it a clean up as it is and just have a look at it and see that everything's okay with it. So I'll take that when I get to it. So that's pretty much it for this episode. I want to thank you all for watching, and like if you like, subscribe if you want to, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!